commissioner would assist you in the appraisal process is that I don't believe that landowners have a spokesman on their behalf that deals with talking about appraisal reform. I believe that if you want to talk about appraisal reform, I'm not, and I represent the farmers and the ranchers and, you know, the ag exemptions and certain things, and all of a sudden what is happening is all the elected class is down the I-35 corridor. Fewer and fewer people are in rural Texas that have representation. So it's going to be easier for them to have some form of increased value, or it's easier for them to be subjected to an unfair appraisal process. And I think I would receive the first warning of that, and I'm saying today that all the people need to have one person when they start trying to change the appraisal process, that you come to the Department of Agriculture and we man all the Tea Party folks and say, we want to have appraisal reform. Mm-hmm. And you can come up with just as good an idea as I can that says, hey, if you're spending $250 million a year appraising and you're at 98% maximum value, why not just stop appraising for 10 years? Just leave us alone.
Right.
You know, you just have to have that. But so with that part, I think that's why as an ag commissioner that I become the spokesman and the salesman that we have to have appraisal reform on land. Okay. What was the second part of that?
Well, should appraisal boards be elected?
Right.
Well, let me just say that to all of your members and your voters, that you need to be involved in the appraisal process, that the board is currently elected by the taxing units. And so in Gregg County, it's 832 votes gets you on the board. Longview ISD has 1,200 votes. So they take their 832 plus the other 400, and they'll join up with somebody else to put someone in there that may be pro-public education or pro-city. And so we've taken a whole complex if I actually went out and campaigned to get on the appraisal board, but you're elected. There was a member in the legislature that says, we don't elect board members, they're appointed. I said, no, they're elected. He said, listen, I was on the school board. My superintendent said that I was going to be put on the school board. That I was going to be put on the appraisal district. I said, well, you were elected. And so it's a communication process amongst your folks that you need to tell them to go push and be elected and get on the appraisal board. Then the appraisal board elects the appraisal review board, that when you have a protest. So when I was on there, we had a gentleman that was on the appraisal board that hadn't paid his taxes in 5 years. And so, you know, and so to me, it's a good question. They are elected, but they're elected off of the value of the taxing unit.
They're elected by the vested interests.
That's correct. Now, my brother, believe it or not, he's elected on the appraisal board, and I believe that there may be a possibility that the judges now may appoint him. I'm not sure on what the current law is, but it could have changed this last September about that the district judges are going to place him, but he was elected.
Fox is watching the hen house.
But it is a system, part of the PVTO program, that is antiquated. What should happen is the appraisal process should go back to the county where it started. And you could have 3 people just making sure that when there's a new subdivision or there's something new added, they ensure that that's added to the rolls. But as far as spending all the time trying to measure up the size of your house, you know, to squeeze you, I just think that we've already done that.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time, but I guess we'll get to the summary.
Up to 5-minute closing, and then
anything we've missed, or if you'd like to bring up?
Well, let me say this, I'm very appreciative of coming here to the Montgomery County Tea Party. This organization has done a very fine job of coming up with a very thorough questionnaire. And it's made me do a lot of research and a lot of deep thinking, and that's what you're about. You don't take the office lightly, and I don't. My closing remarks would be very simple. Vote in March. If you have any questions, it's TommyMerritt.com or at Tommy Merritt on Twitter. And so any kind of questions that comes as a result of this, if I have misspoken, that's very easy to do in a format like this. I'm doing the best I can with the complicated issue. If you have a better answer or you want to correct me, call me. I'm open. This is not an easy job. Pray for me, pray for my family, pray that we have wisdom, and pray for our state and pray for our country. And God bless Texas, and God bless the Montgomery County Tea Party.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
It is.